Hello, in the previous lesson we learned how to run tests through the terminal and PyCharm. We learned how to run tests at various levels or nesting. In partial situation we often run tests that may not be grouped in a class and can be in different places. To avoid running all tests we use tags, marks, test labels. You may hear different names. Let's understand this in more detail. First, let's write 10 tests. There are test simulations, but fully meet our requirements for training. To mark a specific test with a keyword, we need to use the functionality of pytest. Let's import it at the beginning of the file. Now let's make a mark. Call it smoke to run all the tests we have marked this way. For this we hang such a decorator. Let's hang it on the first, fourth and ninth tests. To run test marked with this marker, write like this: pytest, flag M and our name. We wrote smoke. At the end we add the familiar V for more informative output. We'll deal with other variation in the next lesson, so subscribe not to miss. Run it. Our tests have passed, but we have warning which adds inconvenience. To remove this warning, pytest needs to know about our marks. To do this, create a pytest.ini file and write a mark for pytest in it. Write pytest in square brackets. Now write markers, make indents and indicate all our marks. Also we can add a text comment through a colon. Let's do this for our smoke tests. Let's also write for another label that we will soon be hanging. Let's call it regression and also write a comment. Let's run our smoke test and ensure we don't have run-in. Now everything works as needed. If you want to run tests through PyCharm, copy the part you write after pytest and pass it into additional arguments. Let's do it. Copy. Click on the file, choose to modify the run configuration, then pass it into additional arguments. Let's also add regression tags to our tests. Let's do it for the second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. This way you see that we can put 2 marks on the tests. To run tests with 2 marks we have 2 options. The first is when we want to run only those tests where we have 2 names matching. For this we use the conjunction and our expression with name taken in quotes. It's done like this. As you see, only the first test has finished, where we have 2 decorators. Another option for launch we will use when we need to run all tests where there is either the first or the second marks. Here we will already use the conjunction or. Let's run the test for this option. As you see, all the tests that we marked with these words have started. It's also essential to know that we can run our test by exclusion. That is, we can run all tests where there is no regression mark. It's done using the not particle. Notice the first test also didn't start, which is correct because it has the smoke mark and regression. You can use any names, not just smoke or regression. The link to the code of this lesson will be in the description. Like, write comments, it helps promote our community. Have a great day!